Funny, I did have some money, but it wasn't a lot.
Right.
And I did have a lot of accounts, but a lot of them wasn't full. So it's like, look.
Hey, welcome back to Meet the Masons. They're millennial marriage coaches. So you guys, as you can see from the topic above, we are answering a question.
And we mean business.
Right.
How about that?
Is money ruining your marriage? Like, is it? And we want to really talk about this because, you know, they say that, you know, one of the top 3 reasons why most marriages divorce is because of money, along with,
you got communication and then intimacy.
Right? But I know money is one of the top things, and it's like, it's a real situation. I don't feel like a lot of people talk about, especially as millennials, and just, you know, being in this day and age. I mean, there's so many proponents to it and components to it. You know, us going and get college degrees and then getting into enormous amounts of debt. That may not be the case for everybody, but it has happened to some of us. But nonetheless, we have faced our own fair share of financial challenges.
I wouldn't say fair.
Yeah,
nobody
fair,
likes
right?
fair. Fair is relative. So let's go with real stuff.
Right.
We've had our own share of challenges.
We have.
Yeah.
And but we overcame them. Why? Because we wanted to stay married. We love each other. We found ways to make it work. And when you love each other, you want to make your marriage work, you make it work. And you found ways. So we want to share those tips of what we use to get over challenges.
It's funny because that just makes me think of, like, before we got married, it's like, man, she fine. I need to get this money for this movie. You know what I'm saying?
We're trying to scrape up money to go on these dates and try to do X, Y, and Z. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Because when we when I was dating Jared, y'all know we didn't date very long.
She didn't date me for long. But
when we were talking, I just saw that he had a lot of cards in his wallet. So I was like, oh shoot, he got a lot of money. I only had one bank account. I was like, wow, if you got a lot of accounts, that means you got a lot of money.
Yeah. It was funny. I did have some money, but it wasn't a lot.
Right.
And I did have a lot of accounts, but a lot of them wasn't full. So it's like, look, I did have we got a lot of accounts now, but it's just funny. It's like that perception of like, oh, you got debit cards? No, that's actually that's an expired one. This is the new one. And, you know, I didn't activate that one yet.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. But when we got married, you guys know that he lost his job like
hold
5 days.
Hold up. Don't be throwing me out.
I'm just trying to tell the people so they understand it's some real stuff.
I'm glad we can talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm doing the don't tell people because they already know. We've said it 1,000 times. But that's how it feels.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. Like, hey, don't put me out there when it's talking about money in marriage. But it's like, no, for real, it's worth talking about it.
Yeah.
It's worth coaching through it because it's like if somebody else has been in the same situation that you're in and you can help them get out, it's like, why not?
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Yep. So you guys, with further ado, we're gonna get into 3 different ways we overcame financial challenges in our marriage. All right, y'all ready? Let's go. All right, y'all. So the first tip is stay organized.
Yes.
Have a budget and create goals.
Hold
okay.
up.
All of that.
All 3?
All 3 is the first topic. Like, we punching this together.
Yeah.
You cannot go into your marriage thinking that, like, everything's just gonna be taken care of. Like, it's not. You have to pay for bills. We believe in having one account. Right. Or shared accounts, I would say.
I'm like, hold up. We just said we got all these accounts.
We do have multiple accounts because as we grew in business and being entrepreneurs, we realized we needed different accounts for certain things. But nonetheless, we have access to all of them together.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, we believe in that. We believe that your money is one. So we don't believe in, hey, he pays 50% of the bills and I pay 50%. No, they all are bills. Right. His debt became my debt became his debt, and we pay it together.
My debt became your debt?
Yes, it did. I had more. Did I have more? And then we created some more together.
You came in like, I got bags. Like,
whatever. I had a better credit score though.
Yeah. I needed your help for that. Yeah.
Y'all, it's so like we could dive so deep into this, but what we want to tell you.
I had the money. She had the credit.
Nonetheless, what we want to say
girl,
is,
we worked good together.
We did. Listen, this is why you got our partnership. We do.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is, seriously, y'all.
I had the money.
It's real. But let me tell you guys, you want to have a budget. You want to have a place where you are putting all of your bills together. You need to know how much money is going inside of your account and how much money is going out of your account. You need to know every dollar. We used Dave Ramsey at one point of our marriage, and he harps on having a zero-based budget. So basically you literally allocate everything to the last cent, and you have a name for every dollar that you have. And so that worked for us in different seasons, but it's just so important to have a place that you guys can both look at. You can see this is where the money is going, this is how much is going out. Have goals for how much you want to make, how much you want to save for certain things. For Christmas, you need to have a budget for
your expense goals.
Like,
look, how much do we want to be paying people per month?
Exactly. That's getting to the business stuff.
Hey,
I know everybody don't do business with their spouse, but we do, and we gonna harp on that in another time.
Right. That's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be real good. But yeah, you want to have just a space where you guys are saying, this is how much I want to make, and this is how I'm going to get to those goals. So if you guys are interested on how we make our money goals or anything like that, let us know. Maybe we can do a webinar on that. But it really is important.
That'd be cool. We can actually like go through the budget and like share screens or whatever, have questions. So yeah, I'm cool with that.
So if you guys are interested in that, leave like a money bag below, and we will get something together for that. This is a Refresh Your Marriage series. So if you feel like finances is really getting in the way of your marriage, you want to tackle that, and we want to make sure that's not an obstacle for you, so that you can really walk in your purpose.
And now one thing I will say is this, is like not only walking in purpose, but a lot of times it can be an obstacle that nobody wants to talk about. You sweep it under the rug. But we're going to make it sociable. We're going to make it fun, because it's like when you can laugh at problems, you're not intimidated by them anymore. So like growing up, I did not like people being bullied. I did not like people being like picked on. So I don't care how big or small you were. You can't come and just do whatever. So when you got this big, huge money mountain, it's like, no, I'm gonna talk to you. We're gonna tear you down. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be willing to talk to it, be willing to laugh at it, and then it's easier to attack something that you minimize. Something that you like, hey, no, I'm coming for you.
Exactly.
So we'll get y'all there.
Stay organized, get a budget, create goals. That's one. That's number one.
Right, now number 2 is one thing.
Yes.
Number 2 is don't compete with others. It's so easy to jump in like, oh, my friends are doing this, my friends are doing that, my family said I should be here, I think I should be there. Don't compete. Like literally, it's not worth running a race in somebody else's lane. If you stay in your lane, first, you can finish. Not only can you finish, you don't step off and step out of bounds. And if anybody that's watching ever ran track, no matter if you're the fastest to the finish line, if you step in somebody else's lane, you're automatically disqualified. There's certain cuts on the course or on the track where you can actually join lanes depending on which race you run. But for the most part, you have to stay in your lane. Said all that to say, it's like if you're focused on somebody else, you're going to be slowing down, and then you're going to be comparing. And then comparison is a thief of joy. That's one thing that we learned from my mentors. It's like, look, when you're comparing, you're looking over there, oh man, they got a nice car. Then you go try to get that car, but now you can't pay your rent or you can't pay your mortgage. It's like,
was it worth it?
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it?
Stop comparing.
Exactly. And you don't know other people's financial situation. They could be trying to compete with somebody else, and they're, outside
they trying
of
to
their
compete
lane.
with you, and you like, I'm trying to compete with you.
And it's just a vicious cycle, and it's like you need to keep your head down. That's why I said number 1, know your goals. If you know your goal is you want to buy a house, then you need to do what you need to do to make it work. That means you don't need a new car right now. That means drive what you have. It's working. It's fine. You don't have to have the latest car. So one of our money mistakes, we'll share this with you, is we paid off my first car, my only car, before we got married. We paid it off and then we sold it. Like a dum-dum. Perfectly amazing. And
we see it from time to time rolling around town.
I know, we say there goes Stella.
Yeah, there she goes. She's still fine. Come on back, girl.
And deep down inside, I still want her back. Like, I want another Toyota Corolla.
Because it's easy maintained.
Yes, it was reliable.
Maintained.
Right.
I'm trying to spit that thing out.
But it was a reliable car. Nonetheless, don't compete with others. Stay in your lane. You don't have to go to every restaurant every single weekend with a person. If someone truly loves you, they love you for you and not how much money is in your bank account. And the cool thing about it is it's nice to know that, but there's also internal pressures. Like for an example, Kiara during the holidays,
She's like,
don't be putting me out.
Hey, it is what it is. It ain't me. You know, you put me out there up early talking about you lost your job 5 days after we got married.
I say it like that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
But I'm saying that to say, it's like, look, yes, those passions are real. You want to support your family. You want to help. You want to do this. You got birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, whatever case, situation you may like celebrate. But in the middle of those, it's like, which one is most important? For it to look like you're where you want to be, or for you to work on being where you want to be.
And then being able to do what you want to do. Don't try to do it in the season that you're not supposed to. You're going to get there.
Yeah.
And it does hurt, you guys. It takes discipline. It takes sacrifice. It doesn't feel good. But it's worth it in the end. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So the final one is trust God with your finances.
Yes.
Now, I know that sounds like a simple statement and people throw it out all the time, trust God. But when I tell you, you guys, you go and find the scriptures on what God has spoken to you, or, you know, scriptures on finances and increase. And you speak those scriptures over your life, over your marriage, and you guys come together and confess those things together, you will see a radical difference. Like, we've done that a ton of times, and we continue to do that because we're always going to new levels. But excuse me, trusting God and his principles and his word has radically changed our marriage for sure.
And not only just trusting him, because a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, I trust God, but you don't participate in his process. You don't participate in his plan. Now, yeah, God is almighty and all powerful. He can do what he wants to do. But what he wanted to do is give us principles for us to use to show that we trust him.
Right.
So it's like, come on, let's jump in. It's like, if you go to work, they trust you with the job, they trust you with the position, but you have to fulfill your job title. You have to fulfill your role. So us as being kingdom believers, it's like, look, if God has trusted us to be members in his kingdom, let's walk out that process. And so saying all that to say, trust him, but as you trust him, act it out.
Act that thing out.
Act that thing out.
And I would say, find one good principle, even if it's give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is how you practically apply this to your life. You get you a budget. First of all, you should already have a budget, and you should not be competing with people, right? And then you realize, if there's a principle that God says, if I give, more will be given back to me. In your budget, you create a space that this is how much I'm giving, even in the midst of lack. Because there were times where we didn't have enough for bills, but we created a space for God to activate that principle because we trusted him and believed him so much that if we create this space within our budget to give to others, that it will be multiplied within our life. And it happened. You guys, it happened.
And it's funny because, like, whether that's the giving, definitely what we do is we do tithes and offering. But even if you do above that, or whatever case may be, when you walk in these principles, it has a result. It has a harvest. It has a situation that you can actually reap from. And it's like, well, you just giving to get. Well, do you work for free?
Right.
Like, you go to the grocery store, I'm just giving you this money just to give you the money. No, you giving to get something. So yes, we're giving to get, but when we get back, we can give more. And it's not just for
and
church
that's when
situation.
You're actively working a principle. Now, there are times where we give because we love. You should give out of love.
Yeah, and regardless. And it's not always to get back, like, I'm giving this to you so you can give me something for my birthday. No. That's not what I'm talking about.
But you actively trusting God to work something in your life. It's like, God, I'm trusting you with this particular principle, so I'm using this money to activate that principle. Not that every time you give, you looking at people like, okay, you're supposed to be, you're supposed to be trusting God. And that's not our heart to always give in order to get things.
And that's where the comparison comes back. It's like, look, if I'm giving just for you to give it back to me, I might as well keep it.
Exactly.
Like, oh, we got a $50 pot. I'm gonna give you $50 a month, and you give me $50 a month.
Right.
It's like, keep your money. It's like, no, just keep your money.
Yes, because when you trust God with it, now he multiplies the seed sown and gives it back to you. And you don't know who it's gonna come from.
So it's like, look, we can go through all the 3 phases, but when you get back to the situation of, hey, trusting God, that's the one that allows you to walk in your budget. That's the one that allows you to not to compare, because what God has given you in your budget is different from somebody else.
Exactly.
And what God has given you is not something that you have to compare, because he's giving you an assignment for what you have. If you got $10, $1 of that is tithes. Somebody else got 100. Somebody else got 1,000. Whatever case may be. So they're called to do more because they've been given more. To whom much is given, much is required. But when you're faithful over little, you're ruler over much. Exactly. So it's like all these principles work.
With what you have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So my last little thing is, if you're going to trust him, participate in the process, because faith without works is dead,
you guys. Absolutely. And I think this is a good segue to talk about what we're doing now. We actually have a new course called the Purpose Partners course, refreshing your marriage, money, motivation, and making love to walk in greater purpose. So we created this new course for married couples to really just go to a new level. I think that God is really wanting kingdom couples and marriages to arise and be the righteous authority during this time. You know, we need righteous examples during this time, but we also need to be strengthened. And so this course is a 4-week course where basically we'll be meeting with you every single week. We'll be giving you assignments to work in those different areas, and we're going to come together live. You'll have a community of other married couples, and we're only accepting 10 couples because we want to keep it intimate. In a safe place for everybody. So if you're interested in something like that, we definitely encourage you. We want as many people to apply as possible. We want to make sure that you're a good fit for the program. So just apply below. You'll see a link down below. And
not only do you want to apply, but don't just jump in there. Make sure your spouse wants to come too.
Exactly.
Because this is not something that we're doing like, oh yeah, you know, I really want to, but he ain't really trying to. Or I really want to, but she ain't really. No.
We want people who are ready to walk in their purpose. And it's serious.
It's work.
It's serious, and it's real work. And we want people who, you know, they know that they have a purpose for their life and God is calling them to a new place, and you want to be surrounded by other people who are doing it. But we're giving you assignments because we know that you have to do the work, and you're going to reap a harvest. We have this ebook called 101 Date Night Ideas and Why You Should Keep Dating Your Spouse. And like literally we were on a date night last week, or a date day last week, and it was just phenomenal, just getting away from our everyday and talking about the state of our marriage. Because how often do you talk about the actual state of your marriage? You talk about what you got to get done for the day, what your kids got to do, but you don't talk about like, where are we? And so date nights help you to step away and do that. And if you don't have that ebook either, we encourage you to purchase that today as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We are gonna be doing so much more. I know we gotta cut ourselves off. But if you guys have any questions or you want to add something, like, we want to hear from you. We want to make stuff, you guys, God is doing something new in our life right now, and we just want to see the kingdom of God grow and expand. And we know that there are other people that are like us that should be doing the same thing. So we want to help you do that.
So obviously with that, you talk about God doing different things. So with this, we're gonna always be Masons because that's our last name. You know, it's gonna be Meet the Masons. But we're gonna start talking about being millennial marriage coaches, because that's literally something that we've been doing for the last several years, and helping marriages with their money, marriage, motivation, making love, and their business. And now it's like, hey, you know, it's just been so many calls and so many late night conversations and so many coaching sessions where it's like, it's not just this 10, 15, 20, 30 different people. It's people everywhere that need help. And it's not that we have all the answers, but we know who does. And when you know who has the answers, either you get the answers or you give the answers. So that's what we want to do. And if we can help you find solutions to your problems, that's literally what is a part of our purpose. Because a part of our purpose is serving leaders. And we believe that the biggest form of leadership in the earth is married couples. If you go back to the beginning, it started with a couple. It started with a married couple.
Oh, you about to preach?
Hey, look.
I think you about to preach.
Look, let's go. It started with a couple that was submitted to God. Things started slipping up when they started going outside of their purpose, outside of his plan, outside of his process. And if you can just get back to his purpose, get back to his plan, get back to his process, it's just like being back in the Garden of Eden. And there's nothing new under the sun. So that means that same principle that worked back then works now, if you work it.
My God.
So let's rock and roll. Come on.
You better preach.
I'm about to,
So that's just a little glimpse of what you would get from the Purpose Partners course, you guys. But I think I need to sow a seed into your life. Well, we love you guys. We'll be here all night.
Don't be switching money from your account to my account. You gonna keep your money. She gonna give me $50, so
I can make some more money so I can get
How about that?
So we love you guys, and we will see you later. Because we'll be here all day, right? Say
See y'all soon.
Bye.
Transfer my money to me and your money to me.